Welcome to another story time in ministry. About 15, maybe 20 years ago, when I was finished first year university, I remember being really excited for the summer because I secured a job at a summer camp. And the beautiful thing about summer camp is that you only work the last 2 months of the summer, so July and August. And so therefore the first 2 months of summer, right, in May and June, you have completely off, right? And so I remember for myself, I was thinking to myself, that would be awesome that I get 2 whole months where I get to play video games all day long, right? And I thought that was amazing. But I remember in May, as I spent time praying and spending time with the Lord, I remember God kept on impressing on my heart this desire that He wanted me to invest my time into volunteering at the food bank instead of playing games all of those 2 months. And so in the end, I decided to go and volunteer at the local food bank, right, for Monday to Friday. For those 2 months, and you know, at the food bank, I helped, you know, like sort things and in the food bank, organize the food bank. If people came to the food bank, I helped pass out some food, right, and distribute the different boxes and cases of goods. You know, occasionally chatting with some of the clients, or maybe you know, handing out some soup and sandwiches, right? And so, yeah, I was just volunteering at the food bank every single week. And I remember there was this one day after I finished serving at the food bank, I was walking past the supervisor's office, right? And I just popped my head in there to say goodbye. But I noticed that the supervisor, she was so sad and so distraught. Like, she had her face in her hands, right? And I don't know if she was praying or whether she's crying, right? So I remember just saying, hey, you know, what's going on? Like, why do you look so sad? Why are you so distraught, right? And she said, Sam, I'm just so heartbroken. And I'm like, what happened, right? And she said, Sam, it's a summertime, and summertime is a time when most people are on vacation, right? And so no one really comes and donates anything to the food bank during the summertime. And so whenever these families who are in need come to our food bank, it always breaks my heart when I let them know that some of the, you know, high demand items that they're really looking for, they're not in stock, right? And it really breaks my heart to turn them away, right? And I said to her, you know, what are some of these things that are really high demand? And she said, hey, you know, like cooking, like vegetable oil, cooking oil, flour, right, diapers, right? And she said, you know, even today I had to turn away 3 or 4 families who are asking for cooking oil and these things. It broke my heart to tell them that we don't have it, and we're not going to be having it for a very long time until the summer is over, right? And so for me, you know, she told me that story and that news, and I remember just saying goodbye to her. And as I was stepping out of the food bank, I just had this conviction in my heart. I just had this conviction in my heart that I had to do something, because at the end of the day, there are families that are in need, right? And so I remember just going to the local grocery store, like No Frills, right? And I remember driving there. I got a shopping cart. I filled it up with some cooking oil, right, vegetable oil. I filled it up with some bags of flour. And then I stacked some boxes of diapers on top, right? And I had no idea how much this stuff costed, right? So I brought it to the checkout, and as they're ringing me up, I realized, whoa, this is really expensive. There's a reason why very few people donate these items to the food bank, because it costs a lot of money, right? But in the end, I still charged my credit card, right? And I brought it back to the food bank, and you know, the supervisor was still there. And I remember just knocking on her door. She opened it, and I said, hey, you know, I have something that I really feel the Lord wants me to give you, right? And give the food bank. And so I remember just unloading all that stuff into her office, and she was in tears, like not like sad tears, but like joyful tears. And the funniest thing she said to me is, she said, Sam, you need to date my daughter. I'm like, what do you mean date your daughter? She's like, I know you're a real Christian, right? You're a real Christian. And the reason why I know you're a real Christian is because you show mercy. You see that people are in need, and you do your best to try to meet it, right? And she said, my daughter is very beautiful. She gets chased by all the wrong men, I just want my daughter to go and date and marry a real Christian man. I really want to set you up with my daughter, right? And I just thought, I was like, what, really? Right? And all summer long, she just tried to find different ways to get me to talk to her daughter or try to get us together on a date, right? We never end up going on a date, right? But in the end, I just thought it was so funny that the first thing she said to me is she tried to set me up with her extremely beautiful daughter, right? And the reason why is because she said that she knew that I was a real Christian, a real believer, because I showed mercy. I was willing to go and not only see the need that people had, but try to go and really meet it, right? And so the question for you today is that, if are you a real believer, right? And one of the signs, I mean, there's lots of different signs, but one of the signs that you're a real believer, that you have a real faith that is alive, is that you show mercy, right? Like the Good Samaritan. When you see a real need that a person has, you go and try your best with God's help to go and meet it, right? And in today's world where all the young adults are trying to date, go on dating websites, and everyone says they're Christian, right? But you never really know if they're a real Christian if you want to test that out, right? And if you're a young adult and you're looking for a date, maybe take them to a food bank or go on a mission trip. Go and see whether or not your potential partner actually shows mercy, whether they see people who are in need and actually do their best with God's help to try and meet it. Right, so that's just a funny story, right? But it also is a good reminder of, one of the signs of how a person is a real believer who has a faith that is truly real and alive. They're able to show mercy. So that's all for today's story time in ministry. Hope you enjoyed it.